Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with a few things. So first and foremost, how is everyone feeling about the market? If I don't see a few comments saying, hey, I'm bored, I will be surprised, because this market has been extremely boring. But one thing that I've been noticing is Bitcoin dominance. And have you guys been noticing it? So you might have noticed some of the altcoins, including XRP, have been bleeding. And a lot of people are saying, well, why isn't XRP, skyrocketing? Why isn't XRP pumping? Bitcoin dominance. So as Bitcoin chops here, this could get very painful. And we've seen this in the past. But Bitcoin dominance is now well over 50%. And as Bitcoin ranges under 27K, well, guess what? It screams that altcoins are losing dominance, money is moving away from altcoins, and it's most likely going to flow into Bitcoin as Bitcoin does begin the next major cycle. So I think that a lot of focus right now is more so on Bitcoin, which is typical around this cycle. If you guys have been around crypto for a while, all those OGs out there, you know this. But beyond this, we have a big problem. So I've been talking to you guys about a few things regarding crypto for a while, specifically the regulatory side of things. I seen a thing come up on my timeline today, and it's from Eleanor Tourette. And when you see new Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer threatens subpoena power over Gary Gensler and the SEC in his latest letter. He cites Section 24G of the Securities Exchange Act, which says nothing authorizes the commission to withhold information from Congress. Guys, this is laughable. Listen, whenever I see things like this, specifically, let's go back to all of those major committee hearings where, Gary Gensler is getting grilled. Gary Gensler is getting killed by Congress. In every single video that I've made regarding Gary Gensler getting grilled by Congress, I always say one thing. And that one thing is, where is the action? It's all words, right? But where's the actual action here? We're seeing James Comer threaten, in quotation marks, Gary Gensler. Yeah, sure. Listen, I want to see actions taken. I don't want to see words, because for the longest time, we have seen words regarding Gary Gensler. Oh, Gary sucks at his job. The SEC sucks. The SEC is, failing miserably. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, you don't even have to, you could be blind and realize that. Beyond that, I want to see something done here. There has been a problem around crypto for a very long time, and it's a Gary Gensler problem. But beyond that, it's also a corruption problem. The SEC. This is an agency that thrives on corruption. Outside of this, the SEC seems to be playing games. Check this out from Paul Gruel from Coinbase. What do you see? Today, the SEC provided its court-ordered update to the Third Circuit in Coinbase's mandamus action. Yesterday, the SEC staff made some kind of recommendation to the commission related to our rulemaking petition. That's it. That's the whole update. Look at this. This is literally the update. Like, are you kidding me? They made a recommendation to the commission regarding the rulemaking petition. We're grateful that the court's order inspired this small step, but a formal public answer to this petition is still long overdue. And given their ongoing enforcement campaign against crypto, the SEC should at least tell the court its timeline for a decision. No more kicking the can down the road, please. Again, this is what they want. They're holding everything up. You know what's crazy about this? We just seen a major announcement regarding the fact that SBF and the FTX team were holding Bitcoin down below 20K. That was their goal. Guess who was funding FTX? Guess who gave FTX the green light? Regulators and many politicians. A lot of those politicians and a lot of these major regulators are all a part of Operation Choke Point 2.0. Outside of this, Check this out from RizXRP. Raoul Paul on Gary Gensler playing politics and law. SEC up against the Bazooka. They won't win these big cases. And shout out to Thinking Crypto 1, Tony Edward, for this video from his channel. Go check him out. Listen closer to this quick segment.
Going back to Gary Gensler and the SEC, taking a lot of losses. When the Ripple situation, XRP intrinsically not a security, obviously depends on how it is offered. Grayscale taking a loss there. They're suing Coinbase. I don't think that's going to go well. What were your thoughts on the outcomes of these lawsuits? And do you think Gary Gensler has much time in office or he's going to get kicked out?
Well, once you start conflating politics with legal precedent, that's when you realize that's when you start losing cases. So they're doing it for politics, and the court is throwing it out for the right reasons, which is this is not legal. So I think there's a bunch of these. I'm sure the SEC will win a couple here and there, but they're not going to win these big cases. I mean, I've always said the sheer number of smart people and the amount of money in this space that is focused on these issues is gigantic. The government is up against something much bigger than picking off an investment bank. You're picking off people who are super motivated by what this space represents and where it's going. And the people in the space are literally the smartest people in the world. So they don't go to fight without knowing that they're coming with a bazooka to that fight. While the SEC is treating it like it's a bunch of cowboys. They have no real understanding of who they're up against. You know, this is a cultural phenomenon they're trying to fight with people who are highly motivated to win.
And again, you know, the SEC is up against a massive industry of individuals that are destined to win. Listen, we have been here forever, right? We've been talking about these problems. We've been addressing the issues at hand, especially the regulator side of things. When we look at the SEC and when we look at all of the major players tied to ETHgate, for an example, we know that this market, specifically even XRP, have been held back greatly while the incumbents are building their solutions and trying to front run the solutions like XRP. And I want you all to understand right now, for anybody questioning if XRP is going to succeed, even though JP Morgan just launched this with BlackRock, it's all nonsense. Listen, nobody wants centralization. We are living in 2023 here. It's time to change. It's time that we finally get away from this monopoly system. We need a level playing field. We need it. And I think now is probably the best time to be looking to change things, because we are starting to see standardization put in place. We're starting to see things changing around the financial sector. And I think now is probably the best time to be looking into crypto while they are trying to lock people out, while they're trying to shut things down and saying, hey, you know, crypto's this, crypto's that, to make sure that the retail sector is turning a blind eye to crypto. But beyond this, right, Stuart was recently on CNBC. Now, this clip here is 4 minutes long. Don't worry, I got a couple clips from this. But we need to stop elevating politics over sound policy in the US and look to the way that Singapore, the UK, the EU, and Dubai have set clear frameworks and licenses. No wonder crypto innovation is thriving in these regions. And yeah, it's the truth. Like Ripple and XRP outside of the US for the last couple of years, even though they were in a lawsuit, were heavily adopted and heavily greenlight. So outside of that, yes, the US has fallen greatly behind due to them trying to stop this financial asset class, if you will, because crypto is thriving. Let it be known, although the market is boring right now, crypto will continue to thrive. They could try to put roadblocks up. They could try to stop things. They could try to slow things down. Technology will always win. But beyond this, yes, we have two clips from Stuart. This one is kind of playing into this clip, so I'll just play this one over here, which is about 2 minutes and 50 seconds long. But this is from Good Morning Crypto, 3TGM Crypto, breaking Ripple's chief legal officer, CLO, Stuart sounded the alarm in a recent CNBC International interview. He expressed concerns over the United States' unclear crypto regulation. He underlined that uniquely XRP maintains regulatory clarity within the nation. Listen closely to this clip.
In regions like Singapore, in the UK, in the EU, in Dubai, in Brazil, in Australia, in Japan, I can name others, what we have is rational regulatory frameworks that are not looking to push out this innovation, but are looking to say, hey, look, if you want to come into our country and you want to develop this innovation, you can do it, so long as you satisfy our rigorous regulatory regime. In the U.S., unfortunately, we have lost our way. And we've lost our way because we have politics and power being elevated over sound policy, meaning we have certain agencies who are fighting over who is going to get to control, from a regulatory perspective, the technology, rather than satisfy what is the right policy outcome, which I think the licensing framework that we see in it and the Monetary Authority of Singapore pursuing a proper policy outcome through a licensing framework. So right now, unfortunately, in the U.S., the issue of how to label a digital payment token properly, whether you label it as a utility token, a payment token, a security token, that's not left to a regulator and a rational regulatory framework. It's that issue is now being fought in the courts. And Ripple has been on the forefront of that fight with the Securities and Exchange Commission here in the U.S. We have been defending the issue of whether XRP, again, the digital token that we use in our tech stack to enable our customers to benefit from our products, whether that should be classified as a security or it should be classified as a commodity or a virtual currency. We won that issue. We won that issue on July 13th. So hence the sticker XRP is security, which I think gives XRP clarity in the U.S., and XRP as a digital token is now uniquely classified as a non-security in the U.S. But we don't think, even though we won in the courts, we don't think that these issues should be fought token by token, case by case, judge by judge. We think we need a rational regulatory framework. But to your question, although we have some policymakers in the U.S. trying to take the lead to come up with rational regulatory policy proposals, the chances of anything moving forward in this Congress or the next Congress doesn't seem I'm not very optimistic about it.
So yeah, I mean, as we really kind of look at what's happening here, yeah, I think that the U.S. has lost, their way, but I think that it's not so much about politics. I don't think it's so much even about regulations. I think it's about somebody is getting paid off. Money is trickling down from the largest incumbents out there. We all know the game that is being played here. And how do we know this? Well, it's because of what's happening over in the UK. What's happening outside of the US as well right now. For an example, we have Brian Quintenz, who was a former CFTC commissioner. Now the head of policy at AZ16 tells you what is ridiculous regarding Gary Gensler and the SEC. See the vid to understand what they are opening or why they are opening a UK office. And shout out to Crypto ID for this. But check this video out. This is regarding what just happened over in the UK.
The debanking issue. I don't think we have enough experience here in this market to really adequately talk about that. I did notice that JP Morgan Chase just announced a blanket ban on all crypto deposits and crypto clients, which I don't think is encouraging. But at least my reaction to what I've seen or been hearing is that it is more driven by banks themselves making those decisions, whereas in the United States, I think there's a strong suspicion that it is actually being driven by the regulators telling the banks that they are not allowed to bank crypto businesses. But I think it's important that legal businesses, regulated businesses, do have access to financial services. And again, These, in the most cases, these are deposit accounts, right? This is not a lending activity. It's not a credit risk for the bank. There are examples in the United States where we can't even send founders a check for our investment because they can't get a bank account. I mean, that's ridiculous.
So yeah, I mean, the debanking scenario with crypto, right, it is a big problem. But at the same time that we're seeing this, like, for an example, one of the biggest things that we were addressing just recently was what was happening over in the UK. On October 16th, which is literally 3 days from today, you will see Chase UK customers being declined for payments for crypto. And we see an individual saying here, hard to believe Chase US won't be next. Operation Choke Point 2.0 may feel like yesterday's news, but it's still very much unfolding. Again, I don't understand why we stopped talking about this. I don't understand why there isn't, more creators in this space and more individuals in this space as well that are not outraged by the fact that they are trying to debank crypto and trying to cut off the on-ramps. I'm telling you right now, banks will 100% accept you selling crypto and taking that money and sending it to your bank account. They will accept that with arms wide open. But you try to take money from your bank account and buy crypto? Oh no, that's a big problem. This is what's happening here. And you want to know what the worst part about this is? Is that the on-ramps to crypto are so damn crucial. You probably remember the saying, a lot of people thought that it was clickbait on how they were shutting retail off. I was talking about this. I even addressed it multiple times. A lot of people thought, oh, Nick, you're just clickbaiting. You're clickbaiting. Hello, wake up. Back in March and April is when we started talking about Operation Choke Point 2.0. Fast forward to today, we know that we are 3 days away from Chase UK telling customers that they can't buy crypto. And also, back in the summer, we seen Australia, some of the largest banks in Australia, restricting payments to crypto exchanges. We also know that many other major Australian banks were also declining payments to crypto exchanges, calling them high risk and crypto's a scam. You know who else is saying this? And by the way, this is why I say they want CBDCs and they will get it at any cost possible. The ECB. Back in June, Paradise Lost, how crypto failed to deliver on its promises and what to do about it. And in this, this entire article is all talking about how crypto is a scam, how, crypto is utilized for gambling and all this kind of nonsense. You know what's funny about this is, guess what? For an example, Chase will tell you, hey, you can't buy crypto with your bank account. But I'm telling you right now, you could go out and gamble your entire life savings away and they won't even blink an eye. They don't care. What they care about is you changing your life. You investing into the future of tomorrow, because they know how big this space will be. That's why you have Jamie Dimon saying, hey, Bitcoin's a scam while buying it. They have been manipulating this market since day one. What changed? Nothing. It's the fact that the regulators are in their pockets. I mean, they are lining the pockets of almost all of these major individuals that are talking about how crypto's this, crypto's that. Elizabeth Warren's another great example of this. Brad Sherman, another great example. These people all have a role to play around crypto. Hold it up for as long as we possibly can, shake out as many weak hands as we possibly can, and then, hey, let's start the big show. It's all comical. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.